Good morning. Globally, markets and policymakers are watching the Middle East closely as U.S.-Iran diplomacy remains uncertain and the Strait of Hormuz stays central to energy and shipping risk. President Donald Trump says a deal with Iran is largely negotiated and that the U.S. will not rush, while Iran disputes key claims around Hormuz. The Financial Times frames the situation as part of a wider contest over the world's narrow maritime choke points, with heightened attention on how quickly any disruption could feed through to inflation, freight costs and broader global growth. Conflict developments are also intensifying elsewhere. Ukraine has faced a large-scale Russian attack on Kyiv, with reports of multiple deaths and dozens injured, and Russia confirming use of an Orshnik missile. In South Asia, a blast targeting a train in Pakistan has killed at least 20, with officials saying the train was carrying military personnel. In Turkey, riot police have stormed the headquarters of the main opposition CHP after leaders were ousted, escalating political tensions. In China, authorities are responding to what's being described as the country's worst mining disaster in years, with at least 82 dead after a gas explosion at the Lishanyu mine. On global health, the World Health Organization has declared the Bundibugyo strain of Ebola an emergency of international concern after Red Cross volunteers reportedly became the first victims in the latest outbreak. That raises the likelihood of tighter cross-border health measures and renewed pressure on international response capacity. Turning to Australia, the key economic story is a fresh warning sign on national dynamism. New ABC reporting points to data showing Australians are becoming less mobile, less likely to change jobs or states, and more risk-averse. If sustained, that has implications for productivity, wage growth and the pace at which the economy adapts to technological change, including the ongoing AI-driven shift in skills and work design. Housing remains politically charged, with ABC analysis arguing the migration maths behind the housing crisis is more complex than headline claims. The piece points to the interaction between population growth, construction capacity, and policy settings, suggesting simple caps where targets may not translate cleanly into improved affordability without parallel changes to supply, planning and infrastructure delivery. In markets, investors are digesting a major hit to confidence in CSL, with SBS reporting a dramatic share price collapse wiping around $10 billion in value. The move is likely to sharpen focus on earnings outlook, pipeline expectations and broader defensives positioning on the ASX, particularly as global uncertainty keeps risk appetite fragile. On government and public administration, the homelessness surge is pushing councils into frontline enforcement decisions. The Guardian reports councils across Australia are threatening homeless people with fines and confiscation of belongings, raising questions about consistency, legality, and the balance between public order responses and social support systems. This is likely to add pressure on state and federal policy settings and on service delivery coordination across the public sector. Finally, in lighter news, ABC profiles Curtis Mead, the former AFL prospect now hitting home runs in Major League Baseball, a notable Australian success story in a U.S. sport still relatively niche at home.